His meeting with Rosenstein, Congressman Andy Biggs, member of the House Judiciary Committee, House Freedom Caucus. Great to have you with us. Let's start with subpoenaing Rosenstein. What are the prospects for actually encouraging him to appear before your committees?
Well, it's really in the hands of our chairman, and we're calling upon our chairman to issue that subpoena and get him before us. And I'm not alone. Gates is with me, of course, Jordan, Meadows, Gomert. There's a whole host of us. We want this man, Rod Rosenstein, to come in and testify, and let's hear what he has to say about this very serious allegation. And so we need to subpoena him because they've been stonewalling us and slow-walking us for a year and a half now. And quite frankly, and you know this, Lou, when you're trying to ensure compliance, if you don't have a punishment or a carrot sometimes, a stick sometimes, then you're never going to get compliance. We've tried the carrot approach. That hasn't worked. It's time for the stick.
You know, it is time for the stick, as you put it. But we have been watching these delays, these infuriating, insulting delays from the Justice Department, their refusal to defer to the oversight role, the constitutional oversight role of Congress. You've put up with him for so long. Good luck, by the way, I think, is a man who has done far too little, far too late. He has not been an activist. Trey Gowdy, the chairman of the Oversight Committee, hasn't succeeded in a single investigation. It has been a woeful performance from those chairmen of those important committees. And for this to get to this point, there is one other person absent, and that is, of course, the always favored Paul Ryan, who seems not able to raise money, doesn't seem to be able to campaign, nor can he stand strong and tall with his constitutional responsibilities and those of Congress.
Look, Lou, when we start talking about the separation of powers, the reason that Congress is viewed with such disapprobation is because we don't defend our institution. And it's as you say, our leadership has failed to get the subpoenas issued. They don't want to issue contempt citations to people who aren't going to comply. And the result is, not only do they hold us in contempt, it appears like we hold ourselves in contempt. It gives a reason for the public to hold us in contempt. And that is a real problem.
For crying out loud, today, yeah. Congressman, Chuck Grassley saying that there would be no hearings for a Supreme Court nominee in 2020. I mean, the madness of this, by the way, an absolute contradiction with the Senate Majority Leader who said there would be. I don't understand the leadership of the Judiciary Committee or in the Senate or the House. They seem to think it's appropriate to represent their disloyal, antagonistic, and even violent opposition that is the radical Dems. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's breathtaking to watch.
Yeah, you know, and I've said it before, is the Democrats view this as a war, and our side views it as a process. And thus we're going to always lose until we elevate it and fight back. And that's where we haven't really done great. But I will tell you, if you saw what happened last week, the energy that came out of that hearing when people began actually to fight back, Lindsey Graham taking a tough stand, some of the others taking a tough stand, that energized the Republican Party. And this notion that we're going to push everything back to after the midterm, that's the wrong notion. Yeah. We have got to stand up and fight.
Well, yes, you do. And you've got just a little under 4 weeks to get that done. Yeah. Very quickly as we wrap up, is Jim Jordan edging out Kevin McCarthy for Speaker at this point? Where do they stand in the race?
It's tough to say. Nobody has the majority of votes right now. It's both sides working hard, and I think there's a few floaters out there that are waiting to get in at the right time.
Could I get a vote and maybe tip the balance here if you get in trouble if it gets too tight?
Well, you know, you don't have to be a member to be a speaker.
So you shouldn't have to be a member to vote, right? Congressman, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
as always. Congressman Biggs.